layup late that we gave up. So, listen, I think first off, that was a great atmosphere, great Big Ten atmosphere. I thought our crowd was really good, helped us in the second half. We've kind of went away from what has helped us be really successful the last couple weeks, and we got a little too individual there in stretches in the first half. Our movement offensively wasn't good enough, but I think the trap helped spark us. We were able to force them to 16 turnovers. We were just uncharacteristic with our turnovers as well.
Coach Izzo he said that they wanted to keep 6 eyes on Bruce at all times. He said a big part of that was stepping up on the ball screens. When that happens and guys step up on Bruce like that, especially tonight, is it other guys aren't cutting and making themselves available? Is it Bruce's decision-making in this game in particular? I guess what wasn't clicking tonight that kind of caused the misfunction on the turnovers and when they stepped up on those screens?
Yeah, I thought we kept the ball in our hands a little too long at times. We wanted to slip out and get the ball to the big and create an advantage 4-on-3. So I thought we just maybe took one dribble too many at times. We also, I think there were opportunities for us to turn down the ball screen and beat it the opposite direction that we didn't fully take advantage of. But the other guys, the movement wasn't as consistent as it needs to be either. And that's what we really talked about at halftime. Felt like this was a team that was going to help and certainly give him a lot of attention, but really on everybody as we drove the ball, which you saw some of the attempts we got on the perimeter after paint touches in the second half because we moved better. And we were a little stagnant offensively in the first half. That was a little disappointing because we felt like the movement was a big part of the plan. We just didn't execute it well enough.
Jake, Tom was talking about something that Jaden, I guess, told his team after the game, which was that like a year ago they lose this game, but they've, as a unit, figured out how to get over the hump. And when you're on the road, you're down, or you're up, you give up a run. From your viewpoint, what does it take to win a game like this in this league, and where do you think your team still is as far as figuring some of those lessons out?
Yeah, I think you saw a team in Michigan State who has a lot of those guys have played a lot of games together, right? And they've been in that situation before. And that's been the challenge for us all season is to speed up that growth. I think there's a lot of truth in what they're saying. So we've been working to speed that up. And I thought we showed some really good signs tonight. We showed some great segments where we went on runs of our own. And we played really connected basketball on both sides. But against this team especially, you can't turn it over like this and give them some of the easy looks in transition. And 12 offensive rebounds, it's too much. On the flip side, it was great to see us get to the glass, the effort we showed, the toughness we showed on the offensive glass. So this is a great growth opportunity for us. We handled the adversity of the game, I felt like, really well to get that lead in the second half. And then, I think we had 5 chances. The next 5 chances to score went turnover, long 2, turnover, long 2, turnover, if I got that right. And that's the poise. I felt like that moment of the game, we needed to be more poised offensively. And, maybe there was a moment in there where I needed to hold us up because we had a couple empty possessions in transition. But I thought for the most part, great toughness, togetherness to fight back when, they had really all momentum. And so we're getting better at it, there's no question. But this is the gift and the curse of the Big Ten, right? Is you're going to get tested every single night, and you get an opportunity to fix it the next game. But this league requires you to be your best every night, and we just weren't our best enough.
Is the difference then in your mind, is it turnovers? Is it experience? Because some of these numbers, they out-rebounded you by 1. Like, there's a lot of things that are comparable on the stat sheet.
Yeah.
What ends up being the difference in your mind in this?
Well, ultimately, right, it was some shot making, I think, and them getting 7 more points on the free throw line. And then I thought we had some really good looks, especially in the second half from three, that we're going to make, most of the time. So a lot of times in games like this with two really good teams comes down to a made shot, right, or a turnover that leads to something easy to give the offense some relief. And they had just a couple more of those than we did.
When you talk about this team and experience, how much of that is Big Ten experience versus what you've already gone through? I know you've played a tough non-conference schedule, but you've talked before about the Big Ten and kind of what that is going to be like. Some of these guys, this is their third Big Ten game ever. So how much is that still a work in progress?
Yeah, I think it's a factor, but I do think with the way we scheduled in our non-conference that it helped prepare us, and it helped us. I believe what our toughness and our togetherness helped us get the lead in the second half against a really good veteran team with a Hall of Fame coach, right? So there were some really good things where we showed some great growth. The lesson for us, and we know it, we've talked about it, is you can't have multiple lulls in a high quality game like this. That in this league, it hurts you too much. So, yeah, I mean, I think, listen, they were more experienced than us, and we don't have a ton of Big Ten experience, but, man, we got some great experience in the non-conference. So we got to keep pushing every single day to keep growing, but, like, that, that can't be an excuse for us, right? Like, we have capable guys, and we've shown that. We've shown that for majority of the season. So wasn't enough tonight, but we'll get that fixed, and this game will help us, for the next one.
Three-point shooting, especially in the first half, just wasn't what you guys have had in some other games. I think we've seen that in some of these losses, especially against teams that are more physical. How do you combat that when the outside shot isn't going down? What else can guys do to, contribute other ways or whatever it may be to maybe not let the lead get to what it was and then have to fight back the way you did?
Yeah, I felt like a few of those where we settled and we did a better job of getting the ball in the paint in the second half. That helps you get to the free throw line more. And the opportunities that come from the three-point line after paint touch typically are better looks. So some of that, again, was we were a little bit more stagnant than we've been offensively. Give them credit, certainly. I don't mean to take away from what they did defensively, but I felt like some of it was self-inflicted, our poor shooting percentage tonight. And so that's something, obviously, film will be a great teacher tomorrow. We certainly talked about that, and we adjusted. We adjusted for stretches. But, we have to have great poise and discipline offensively against really good defensive teams. That is the absolute worst time to start, playing as individuals or to stand. Just got to keep moving. We got to keep cutting. We got to keep driving. We got to keep kicking. And more of the possessions we had in that stretch after the first, I think it was 4 minutes.